Hello there YouTube, it's Conspiracy Boy here with another Carboot haul video. This week's is probably 2 or 3 weeks old, so it's going back a little while. I got there relatively early, and even though there wasn't many people there, we actually found some goodies. So let's start running through what we found. So I think the first little lot was this group over here on the right. So there was this big eyeball, and inside there's loads of bits that kind of look like Minecraft. I think it's like knockoff Minecraft toys, because I've played some Minecraft and I don't remember there being any items or objects that look like this. But my friend's kids are big on Minecraft, and I'm not sure they'd necessarily know the difference. So I bought this little playset, and this is the same here. This little skull, and there's a little button you press, bits pop open, and there's lots of little bits that kind of, I mean, they just look cool. It's the type of thing that doesn't necessarily have to be genuine, but it looks pretty good. We also had some other stuff that looked like it was from Minecraft. It probably actually isn't, but it's that sort of style. A guy might be in gold armor. It might just be that it's bootleg. I think it's just bootleg. And then like a cauldron as well. These two look like they're more legit. Steve, I think his name is. Wolf, perhaps. Yep. So you had those, and then the rest just basically Pokemon and Skylanders. So you had this big, I don't know, tree frog looking thing. This thing, which turns out is missing a bit. I didn't notice that at the time, but yeah, it should have a bit there, shouldn't it? God knows what that's meant to be. Oh, and a tail. So yeah, that's a bit bust. But it does have this legendary bird of some kind, not one I recognise. This light up monkey dude, full of fire. Oh, not got a battery for him though. This thing, is it Luigia? I'm not sure. It's bizarre. This thing doing a cosmic blast Hadouken thing, and maybe that's Luigia, Lugies. I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those things. And then some Skylander stuff. Like this is a Skylander Giant. I think this is like the Connects Mega Blocks type set stuff they did. There was all the bits to go with it, but it was all in a box and all random, so I just picked out the minifigures. This dude, that dude, this little dude, and this tiddly tiny little wee dude here. I think he wanted £4 for that little lot there. Really, all of it's going to go to my friend's kids, because I think they're into Pokemon, they're into everything in this little pile. I might keep these legendary bird 2 things, because they're pretty smart. But yeah, next little lot we found was this lot down here, minus, well, we'll do these bits first, just to show them off. So this is knockoff bootleg Lego. There was a knockoff Darth Vader Christmas edition, and knockoff Deadpool Christmas edition. He also had some Yodas. You can tell that they're not genuine, like the heads just aren't right, especially when they're doing unusual ones like that. The plastic, it looks cheap and it feels cheap, but I mean it's convincing enough to the eye. First glance, they were £1.50 each, and these ones were £1.50 each. I wanted to buy these before, these Breaking Bad ones, but he was selling them as a complete set, and then you had to get like Gustavo and him without his trousers on and all sorts. And yeah, now he's doing them £1.50 each, so spent £6 on 4 bootleg minifigures. And then the rest of this pile here all came from one seller. He's there quite regularly, and I quite often dig through and pick out a few little bits and pieces. But this week he seemed to have topped the box up quite a bit. So we got a few Biker Mice from Mars. We got Throttle there, Vinny there with his hat and his bike, which is missing some bits at the front. We've also got Modo's motorcycle there, but no Modo unfortunately. And Limburger, or I think his name was, with his face as well. They also had this really cool bootleg action figure, really chuffed with him. No leg articulation, moves up and down and at the waist. Got both of its accessories still, and it just looks pristine. The box was just full of gunk and gunge, so God knows how he came out so clean. Weapon, I think for Moto, the one I don't have here perhaps. This guy who, when I asked my friends if they recognised him, they all thought it was the guy who did the Secrets of the Magician's Secret Rulebook or something. but it's not. It turns out it's the bad guy from like Super 6 or something like that. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But it's modern. It's crap, so what a shame. This guy I really like. I don't know what he is. He's hollow, and I can't tell if it's like a what's-it or a turd. But whatever it is, it's like orange. It's got a chain on the front there and a gold tooth, sunglasses. He looks angry. On the bottom, it just says Mega. Don't know if you can make that out, but Mega in big letters. Mega. There he is. Tell me that isn't the coolest little thing you've ever seen, but I really want to know what he's from. God knows. But he was really cool. This thing's really cool as well. I like these. These used to come in like the fun bags. I don't know what line it's from, but it's got like some weird evil devil face, and then these cool horns and this tail thing. Just cheap solid plastic. Really cheap plastic. A few monsters in my pocket, nothing too exciting there. This sort of Dog Tanyan type of character. Yeah, just basic monsters in my pockets. One little connectable, which will just get chucked in the box of other bloody connectables. Yeah, and I think he wanted £4 for that little lot, so that wasn't bad. Also, a trader had a big bag, and I do mean a big bag, like huge, full of little bit of garbage, but I could see these bits in it that I kind of wanted. So I bought the whole bag just so I could get this little handful of bits here. So we'll go through them one by one. This little dog here is the dog from Reboot. I was interested in getting him. I could see these things, which were some sort of like Bluebird game. I could never figure out the game as a kid, but I did like the little figures that came with it, so I pestered my parents to buy them just for the figures. And there was 2 of those in there. I just really like these. I'm sure they were Bluebird toys, but God knows what the game was or what it was called. There was this guy in there that I didn't see at the time. He looks like he's from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I think. But yeah, I've never seen him in this size before. He's like toy soldier size. But yeah, he's pretty cool. This guy, who is just awesome. It's just a little penguin in a bow tie. He's pretty solid. His eyes look like he's tired or something like that. But yeah, I just love him. Just the little size of your finger. I think he is brilliant. I don't know what I'm going to use him for or what he reminds me of, but yeah, really like that. And this little dude I really like too. He's just a really flexible plastic. He looks like he could have been meant to be a key ring of some kind at some point. He's got little green eyes. I'm sure this was the type of stuff you'd find in, like, again, these lucky bags and horror bags and Halloween toy things. I don't know. I just think he's really cool. So really like that. After I bought this little lot here, I had them all in a basically clear plastic bag. You might be able to make it out over there in the background. And as I walked past some stall, a little boy basically ran out and was like, hey, I've got one of those. And he had this one, which is infinitely cooler than any of the other ones that I found that day. And I was like, oh, he is cool. I probably have it already, but he does look cool. And then he said he had some others, so he went looking for them in amongst all his toys, but we couldn't find them. We did, however, come across this fella from Dragon Ball Z, I believe. It's quite highly detailed considering his size, but it does look like his legs have snapped off, or so the display he was on he's been wrenched off of, but he was pretty cool. And he also had this little Psyduck with a Pokeball in his hand, which has got a hole in the bottom. I've never seen that particular type of, because it's like hollow but solid. It's very strange. So I gave him £1 for the 3 of those. I really bought them because he was like the best salesman I came across at the Carboot sale that day. He went out of his way to connect these to the toys I had. I mean, he blatantly lied about some of the other things. He'd be like, oh, I've got another one of these, and he'd just pull like a Gormity out and be like, this is the same, and I'd be like, kid, it's not. And he'd be like, I'm sure it is, sir. And he just thought that I didn't know, and yeah, by the end of it, I was showing him that I knew toys, and I think he was surprised that basically the old guy like me knew about the toys that he had. Anyway, I bought those for that reason. Now, this last little lot in the corner here, or not last, second to last, the penultimate lot here, if we can focus, all came from the same seller. I originally got drawn over because I saw some comics, and on top of the comics was like an ice cream tub, and in the ice cream tub there were some like little minifigures. So I rummaged around. I found these 4 Pokemon. A lot of them I don't know because they're not the original 150. So I don't know what Pokemon started doing. They just look mental to me. But they also had this like little Superman brownie. I don't know. It's some sort of famous Japanese character. This Lego Batman keyring that looks pretty legit. It's got a light on the bottom. I'd say that was legitimate Lego. There's no Lego logo on it that I can see, but yeah, I would say that is legit Lego right there. Oh, there we go. We even got his face the right way now. There's also this Joker, which looks like the type of thing you probably find in a Loot Crate box, one of those blind box things. I'm not sure if it is Kid Robot. It normally says on the foot, but it doesn't with this one. And again, this, which I would imagine is some sort of blind bag sort of toy of some description. There's also this, which is actually from an artist called Joe Ledbetter. This is a Kid Robot toy. I'm sure of it. Oh no, it's made by a company called Trexie, but yeah, it's still Joe Ledbetter. He's an artist I actually really like. I've got a few of his other pieces. I don't have this exact one. It does have some really sticky silver paint on, which is a shame. But yeah, that's very cool. So I was chuffed to find that. And this one again, which is a Trexie, which I thought was Kid Robot, and they call them designer art toys. Again, this has just been mutilated with some sort of pen and what feels like Tipp-Ex, which is a real shame because it would have been a really nice figure to begin with. I will try and clean it up, but I'm not holding up much hope for the Hellhound there. And then I got to the comics underneath. So I had this little pile of toys put aside there. I saw they had this Action Comics Weekly, number 601, and this Spider-Man featuring the Ghost Rider there, which was quite a nice cover. Number 1 of 4 for the Avengers Infinity Gauntlet. Iron Man, Operation Galactic Storm, Part 13. Not a great cover, but that one's pretty nice. You got Venom, the Enemy Within finale issue against the Demogoblin. So we had those, and I started asking, how much these things were, and she said, well, get them together and we'll see. Well, as I was looking through this box and the comics, someone else came along and was looking at all the manga. She had quite a pile of manga. And he put all these Death Notes to a side because he realised that there's a full set there. There's 1 all the way through to 13, and Attack of the Titan. So he stacked them up in a pile like this, and he said to her, how much did she want? And she said that it was £1 each. And there was 13 of them, so it'd be 13 quid. And he sort of ummed and ahed. She didn't want to do a deal with him for some reason. I then had these 10 little mini item toys, and I had these, 4 comics? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comics there. So I said to her, what did she want for these? And I think she said she wanted 7 for these, and maybe 14 for this. I don't know. I think it came out basically £21, and I asked her to round it down to 20, and she seemed a bit put out by it at first. But then I said to her, like, it's only £1. Like, from the price you're asking, all of this stuff, I'm only asking you to round it down to £1, so it's a round number. And she went, yeah, okay then. So she gave me all these, and the guy who was looking at the Death Note shot me the dirtiest look, like I just bought them off her at half price or something. But I think he just thought I got a good deal getting these that she was saying 13 for, plus 5 comics and all this for 20 quid. So I tried to be nice to him and chat to him, but yeah, it wasn't up for that. And then these were the people that I bought Shonen Jump from, what is now today, but would be a video that I've uploaded, hopefully the same day. Anyway, yeah, they were back, and they had so much manga. I don't know if she was still doing it for £1. The woman I dealt with was the mum, and she was really unsure of the prices, whereas the daughter was there this week, and I ended up paying £2 just for the Shonen Jump comic.